Terry, I wanted to put something in there in the music that was as urgent as this week is going to be.
Oh, that sounds urgent to me.
Yes, indeed, because it is Breeders' Cup week, Terry.
It sure is.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to say it. I'm really excited about it, too. So
I bet you're packing your bags. You're looking at the GPS. I bet you have like a calendar where you're counting not down the days, but the hours.
Yeah, I am. I certainly am. Yeah. I've always wanted to go. Never have had the opportunity till my honey bunny this year said, "Hey, why don't we go to the Breeders' Cup?" And I was shocked because she doesn't usually, say
things. Doesn't want to do that.
Well, she likes the horse races, but not like I do. So, in other words, she complains sometimes that, hey, how come all of our vacations kind of wrap around a racetrack, center around a racetrack? I said, no, I take you to museums and things like that. She said, yeah, but everywhere we go, there's got to be a racetrack. So
there's got to be a little give and take, Terry.
That's right. Well, that's why I go to museums. So
right, for sure. I mean, because for us uncultured guys going to a museum, there's got to be some benefit at the other end. Otherwise, why the hell would we go?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm just jesting, of course, but you really do have to almost pay me to go into a museum. Some of them I like, though. Here in Chicago, we have the Museum of Science and Industry, which is a pretty cool one. They have a lot of pretty interesting things to look at. But I mean, there's only so many times you can look at the dinosaur before you've seen the dinosaur too many times, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
And then the art stuff for me, I'm just not an artistic guy. What can I say? I mean, I like to create things, Terry. I mean, one of the great things about horse racing, I feel like, is that it's a creative process every day.
Yeah.
And it's constantly evolving. But looking at somebody else's creativity just doesn't seem to have the same flair for me. And then you have the people who look at a picture and it's like a boat and they have all these meanings to the boat. And I'm like, no, it's a boat.
Yeah. Well, it's just like she takes me to these stargazing things. I forget what they call them, but where you lay back and and every time she does, almost had it there, but every time she does, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
That she's always giving me the elbow to try to wake me up because I'm snoring.
Yeah, well, interfering. If you weren't snoring, she probably wouldn't try to wake you up, right?
That's true. No.
So today's going to be an interesting day, Terry. Normally we cover some news, but today we're not going to cover news because it's going to be all horse racing all the time today, because we are expecting Tom to join us a little bit later on in the show to make his Melbourne Cup picks. So we're going to get straight to our picks. Hopefully Tom joins us. We can get to those Melbourne picks. If not, we'll post them somewhere and let you know where. But for now, let's get cracking, Terry, with your best bet of the day. Look, there's that handsome guy who falls asleep under the stars.
That's it. That's me. Well, yesterday I had picked my best pick of the day was Santa Anita's second race. And my first pick ran fourth, but my third pick won the race and paid.
Always your third pick, Terry.
Beg pardon?
Always your third pick, my friend.
It seems like last month my third pick did better than my first. So anyway, which is the first time in about 10 months that's happened.
Well, they say good things come in threes, right? So there you go.
That's true. So today my pick of the day is Parx' fifth race. I like Servier, who is a speed horse who will break on top and try to lead all the way. He's done that before when he made out of 11 doing that this year. And he has jockey Frankie Pennington in the irons, who is winning at a 24% clip at the current meet. And then I like a real long shot, number 3, Brazen. Has won 3 races in a row at Parx, likes the distance, finishing 100% of the time in the money, winning 33% of those races. And the track, he's finished 100% of the time in the money, winning 60% of the races. Then I like number 7, American Talent. Will run close to the pace and try to catch the speedsters at the finish line. The distance is in his wheelhouse. He's finished in the money 9 out of 11 times.
So you picked Parx. Why, Terry? Because today our Fly 4 is at Parx, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing races 7, 8, 9, and 10, if I remember correctly. So the fifth race. Oh, so it can kind of start the pick 6, but you're gonna have to find your own in race number 6, or maybe not. Maybe somebody in their hot dog, in their 3P parlay. I don't know if you did, if I can remember or not, Terry, if you got the 6th race covered or not in there. But in any case, you do have it covered in there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's For me, trying to pull it up from memory is next to impossible. So let's go ahead and get cracking with our Fly 4, Terry, which is going to be at Parx today, as I mentioned. Races 7, 8, 9, and 10. The first race is 6 furlongs, Terry. That is a maiden claiming 16,000 for a purse of 21,000. They've run 277 races so far at the Parx meet this year. I mean, it's a year-round track. 70% of them, Terry, or 191 of the 277 horses were considered speed horses, with 111 of the 191 speed horses running wire to wire, or 40% of all races. So it also looks to me like inside outposts are the way to go. So why don't you get started and tell me in race number 7, 6 furlongs where speed matters, which horse you like?
I love number 9, Government Girl. She ran a really good second after coming in the stretch wide in her debut race. And the jockey, Jeremy Laprida, has done very well in the last 7 days. He's won 4 out of 12 races.
So you like the 9 horse. Again, a little bit of outside, Government Girl. Last time out, we kind of rated off the pace, running at the same, actually moving up a little bit in class this time. It's not been the best angle for Michelle Castillo, but I do like the fact that the horse last time out did run pretty well, and I'm hoping that we'll see some improvement in race number 2 career-wise. So for me, Terry, I say inside speed matters, right? That's what the bias says, and I've been really finding out that I'm hitting a lot more prices this way. So I'm going to start with the 3 horse, and this is Wow Factor. It's got the wow factor, and hopefully when the race is over, Terry, it went off at 17-1, and we'll be like, wow.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
That would be awesome. But the horse does have some of the best early pace figures in the field. Horse is going to be dropping in class today, which should help. Coming in from Monmouth Park, so it gets off to a good start, but kind of died at Monmouth Park. I'm sorry, bad choice of words. It faded at the end of the races, the last 2. So coming to Parx, where it's had a middle of the road workout since a couple of them, a real good fast one on October the 8th. I feel like Michelle Sanchez, with the opportunity to use a crop, might be able to maintain Wow Factor speed a little bit longer.
Yeah, number 3, Wow Factor is in my picks too. And as you said, coming in from Monmouth Park, and she showed some early speed there. Now she switches to a high percentage trainer who wins 31% of the time when going from maiden to maiden claimer, and she drops in class.
Hello, Laloy. How are you today? Balaloy. I hope I got that right. Good to see you again, my friend. We missed you on the weekend. Terry and I were lighting up Keeneland, Belmont, and Gulfstream Park. Kind of taking turns, though, right? Terry was hot in the beginning. We kind of were both middling along in the middle, and then I got a little bit hot at the end, so it worked out nice.
Yep.
So you like the 3 horses. Well, who else do you like, Terry?
Okay, I like number 6, Shirley Green. Comes in from Churchill Downs after finishing 3rd. She switches to high percentage jockey Frankie Pennington and has the highest last race speeding.
Yes, I have the 6 horse in there too, Terry. I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time. I do like the fact that the horse is coming in from Churchill, Saratoga, Churchill, Keeneland. I'm a fan of the big track to smaller track angle. Although when it did run at Ellis Park, it did kind of struggle a little bit. Horse has had a couple of workouts, at least one workout across the Parx track. Wasn't the best, but it looks to me like class-wise, at least the trainer-wise, they felt like this was a good horse. And Jamie Ness and Frankie Pennington have won 14 of their 26 races together, hitting the board 85% of the time, Terry, with a ROI close to $1. So, I mean, you can't beat any of those numbers right there. Yeah, that's off the charts, right?
It is absolutely fantastic. So,
and when you look at Jamie Ness, it's the first time after a claim, so he hits at about 30% from that angle. So you got a lot of good things working in the 6 horses' favor. One other horse that I like in here, Terry, is the 10 horse. Is that something, Nikki's notion, that you had on your list as well?
I did not, no. So,
well, it's another horse that I expect is going to get off to a good start. Last time out showed a little bit of early pace. When you look at those early pace figures, probably second or third best in this race. But the horse ran at a maiden special weight, $42,000 last time, $58,000 the time before that at Monmouth Park. So it's making a huge class drop, and I feel like maybe that class relief will be enough. So I'm going to lock that 10 in there, Terry.
Okay, sounds good.
So that's 4 horses. Any other that you were considering in here?
Yeah, you can put the 8 off to the side. Had trouble in her last race and finished a disappointing 5th, but now returns to 6 furlongs, where she's had her best race finishes. And she's finished 2nd last time. The trainer wins 18% of the time after a claim.
Yeah, coming in from Churchill Downs and Ellis Park. So maybe I do again like that, that I would say track class relief, if you will.
Yeah.
Race number 8, starting at race number 7, Terry, we're used to starting like race 5, race 6. I feel like in race 8, we're at the end of the show already, but instead we're just at the beginning. So this one is a mile and 70 yards. There have been 209 races at the distance, Terry. 146 of the winners were labeled early speed. So that works out to roughly 70%. And almost a third of those horses and nearly half of the speed horses won. 67 of the 209 went wire to wire. And again, it looks to me like you want to have it inside out in terms of your the post. They seem to do better. So I'm going to start right on the inside, Terry, with the one horse, Golden Spoke. Yay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Why yay?
Because I love that horse.
And why? What did it do for you?
Won 2 races in a row, so going for a hat trick, and received the highest last race speed rating in her last race, and his last race. And the rail post is winning 18% clip. He has a high percentage trainer, Felix Flores Coba, and hot jockey Jeremy Laprida in the last 7 days has won 4 out of 12 races.
Well, what I like and what I'm worried about, Terry, is the horse has won 2 races lifetime. There was the last 2 races. Prior to that, it had really struggled. Mm-hmm. And so I like that for sure. And I like the fact that its speed figures are on the rise as well. But I don't like the fact that it's won 2 races out of 9, and they were the last 2. So, but I do expect inside early pace is what we're looking for, and that's what we're going to get. What do you like? All
right, so I like number 9, Mitra. He finished he is back to the distance that he likes finishing in. And he's finished 60% of the time in the money at this distance and won 20% of the races. And he has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. He has hot jockey Paco Lopez, who in the last 7 days have won 3 out of 8, ran second twice.
Yes, he's won 37% clip at Parx. But what I like about this horse too, Terry, was in my top picks, as you mentioned, hit the board 3 out of 5 at the distance, has also been in the money 9 of 12 at Parx. But this is the 3rd start off a layoff for Mithra. Looking back at the previous 3 race cycle, it was the best race of the 3. So if Mithra can repeat that up the ladder, coming off the highest last race speed figure, more improvement today, like it did last time in the 3 race cycle, would be more than enough to get the job done here, Terry. So I am in total agreement with you.
Good.
My next spot here, Terry, is the 3 horse Conquistador Show. Last time out, kind of struggled a little bit, Terry, but does have some early, if you look back a little bit deeper, does have some early pace numbers, has run very well at longer distances. So it looks to me like the horse prefers longer distances and has some of the best late pace figures in the field. So I'm expecting to see the 3 horse right off the leaders inside post, which is supposed to work very well with some good late kick.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's my 3rd pick. And, 66% of the time has been in the money at this distance and won 17% of those races and likes the track.
Okay. So we can go 4, 3, 4, 4. So we got 3 here. Which race do you feel like 8, 9, and 10? Do you feel like we can get away with 3 horses in?
I think this one. Yeah.
This one? All right.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put anything off to the side, what would it be? For me, it would be the 4 horse.
Okay. For me, it'd be the 11.
So 4 and 11. Those would be the ones that we would consider putting in if they're scratches, or if you're like Terry and Tom, have deeper pockets and like to make those bigger bets. Well, Tom makes his bets on those 100-to-1 shots, and that's how he makes his money, right? For sure.
Absolutely.
So next race up, Terry, is race number 9. This one is 7 furlongs on the main track. Looking at 7 furlongs, there have been 177 races at the distance during the current meet, Terry. 126% of that, 126%. You're right. More than they've raced. 126 have been won by horses like Get Up and Giddy Go right out of the gates, about 71%, with about 67 of them winning wire to wire. That works out to almost 40%. Once again, you find that the inside draws have an advantage, but not as big as we've seen at 6 furlongs and what we saw at 1 mile and 70 yards. So I think post positions play a little bit more fairly at 7 furlongs because you get that long run down the backstretch before they head into turn. So it gives the outside horses a chance to clear before they start turning left. Who do you like?
I like number 5, Irish Riviera. Finished in the money in the last 7 races, winning one of those and running second 3 times. He has a really good trainer-jockey combination of Jamie Ness and Ruben Silveira. Silveira, yeah. And in the last 14 days, they've finished in the money 8 out of 13 times, winning 4 of those.
Yeah, I like the fact, too, that the horse does have a little bit of tactical speed. Not going to be the fastest out of the gate. Good matchup between the jockey and the trainer, and 3 out of 4 in the money at the oddball distance, 7 furlongs. Not a lot of races. Last time out was the favorite. Trainer Jamie Ness does pop back at about 27% the next time around the track with horses that disappoint as the public's first choice. My first choice, Terry, in this race is number 7, Dropped Anchor. The last couple races, well, it was moving up the ladder, hasn't run since July 5th, one day before my birthday. So remember that. But it did pop the top last race speed figure in that and is dropping in class today. Those are typically, that's one of my favorite kind of like beginning point angles, dropping in class off the highest last race speed figure, but hasn't run in a while. And the last time, so it's been working out, and it's been working out exceptionally fast at Parx for Anthony Salgado. And if you look at its record on a fast track, which is what we've got today at Parx, hit the board at in 9 races, 8 times. So I'm expecting Drop Anchor to come off the bench fast as heck and give all these horses hell.
Well, again, I'm looking at your notes because that's my second pick. And let's hope that it doesn't drop Anchor. As a matter of fact, I don't think it will. He can either run on top or he can come from off the pace to win races. And he drops in class today. He finished 3rd versus Tupper in the last race. And he received the highest last speed rating in that race.
Yeah, 2 bullet workouts in his last 4 at Parx, so he's training well at the track. I expect he's going to run well at the track, and he has run well at the track as well. Showed some early lagging, kind of gave it up a little bit, and those were at mile and a 16th and 7 furlongs. So hopefully he's able to maintain after some rest. Who else do you like?
I like number 8, Fast Bob. He finished 3rd in his last race at Parx, where he's finished 4 out of 5 times in the money, winning 2 of those races, and he has that high percentage trainer, Penny Pierce.
Yeah, I have the 8-2 as my 4th horse, Terry. I just don't. It's been kind of regressing a little bit, and then after coming off the grade 3, then goes to an allowance 25,000. Did improve a little bit last time. Finished well behind Irish Riviera, your top choice. So I'm feeling like the horse is regressing a little bit, but I can't overlook its Parx record, where it has 2 wins, a 2nd and a 3rd in 5 races, and one of the top speed figures achieved at the park. So if it can run back to its class, then it might be the one that would upset me in my picks. My final pick here, Terry, is number 4 horse. That is Lavery. Won its last race at Parx at 7 furlongs. Has hit the board in 5 of 7 at Parx with 2 wins and a trio of thirds. Did win its only trip across this distance. And last time out, what I like about it is you saw a substantial cut in its early fraction. So this is a horse to me that just has that look to be on the improve. Is it one that you had in your picks?
It is, yes. My 4th pick. One, like you said, won its last race at Parx at today's distance. Has the high percentage trainer and a high percentage jockey, Frankie Pennington. So, yes.
All right. Yeah. So I think the horse runs pretty well here. So any other that you're going to stick to the side because we're maxed out here with our.
No, I have no other ones that
the only other one I had on my list that I was contemplating, Terry, is the 6 horse. What's to blame? The 3 horse was also on my list, but it's scratched. So just the 6 horse. And if you look at the 6 horse, it does have pretty good history at Gulfstream Park of finishing 2nd and first by a nose. So I'm a little bit concerned that the 6 horse gets out to the gate and does some heavy work, but its workouts have not been as fast as some of the others. So that's why I moved him down to my 5th choice. All right, last race, Terry, back to 6 furlongs. As I mentioned, 70% of the horses win by speed, about 40%. So 4 out of 10 winners get to the front and never give it up. Inside posts have a little bit of an advantage, Terry. So I'm going to start with the rail horse. I know from your hot dog pick 4 you didn't have the rail horse, but if you look at that last race, the horse broke from the 6 post, so it's moving inside, and it won at Parx at 7 furlongs by 7 1/4 lengths. I like the comment here. It says drew away under wraps. In other words, the horse had a lot left in the tank, running at the same exact level that it run last time. If it repeats that last race, Anzio Beach makes easy work of this field.
I like it. My 4th pick. He won his last race at Parx, and he earned the highest last speed rating while doing that. The rail position is winning 22% of the time, and it has that really good jockey, Jeremy Laprida, who has won 25% of his mounts in the last 7 days.
Yes, he and Robert Moscow, the trainer, they've won 3 out of 9 together, but they have a positive ROI of about $1. So that's really good as well. So all or nothing horse, folks. If it gets out to the lead, it's going to win. Maybe have a good shot to win. If it doesn't get out to the lead, we'll look on to the next horse, Terry. So the next horse is who?
Number 11, Golden Lineup. He finished in the money 8 out of 10 races, winning 2 of those and running second 3 times. He has a high percentage jockey, Ruben Sevier.
Yeah, I have the 11 horse too, Terry, as my 3rd pick. Didn't make my hot dog because of that outside post, which I think will work a little bit to its detriment. You look at some of the other times that the horse has been outside, it's tend to finish 2nd or 3rd. But I think in this field, it's a great fit. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the time it makes it home first. My next pick, Terry, is a little bit, I think, boy, this is kind of like a really relying on the past performance of a horse and jockey. So number 4, Little Harbor, the last 2 races since coming off of a break. So early September and in late September, the horse finished 6th by 22 lengths last time out. And the first time off the bench, finished 8th by 35 lengths. So yeah, why in the world would I want that horse, right? Mm-hmm. And I wholeheartedly agree. But the horse is dropping in class from allowance company to claiming company. It does have the best early pace figures in the field. So it's going to get out to the lead, Terry. No question about that. The last time the horse ran a 3-race cycle, the first 2 races were kind of a bomb. The time before that, when it ran a 3-race cycle, the first 2 races out of the barn were kind of bombs. And if you look back in the past performance figures and you look to see jockey Michael Sanchez on the horse, he rode him twice. And that was 4 and 5 races ago. The 2 times he was on the horse, he won by 1. And the race before that, he won by 9 1/4. So his 2 wins at Parx have come with Michael Sanchez in the irons, and neither one was really all that close. So I'm hoping that Michael Sanchez back in the irons and that 3-race cycle, both those teams hold form. The 4 gets to the lead, gets up and going, and that the bettors overlook him because of that 22 length and 35 length finish in the last 2 races.
Yeah, I like the 4 too. It's my 3rd pick. As you said, drops in class and this way he can regain his earlier form. And, I think he was a little over his head in the upper class there. So his early speed running style will help his chances. And he has one of the best dirt speeds among today's starters. So.
All right, it's time for the last horse of our Fly 4, Terry. Are we going to fight this one out, or are we going to agree? Who do you like?
I like number 6, Why Mumbo. He ran 2 good races in a row, including his last one running 2nd versus similar. The shorter distance may help his cause.
Yeah, I like the 6 horse too as my 4th pick as well, Terry. So we'll put him in there. We'll agree. For me, the other 2 horses that I was considering were the number 7, Take a Cab, and the 3 horse. And that is Didn't Do It. So Didn't Do It worries me the most because it's coming in from Tampa and Gulfstream. So a lot of times those horses might find it to be a little bit of a class relief coming to Parx.
Yeah, I agree with that. So let's put the 3 on the outside there.
And then maybe the 7 too. So we just know those 2 horses are out there just in case. Any others that you were looking at?
Nope, that was it.
All right, there you go. The Monday Fly 4 for the opening of Breeders' Cup Week a little bit later on today, from what I understand, Terry. They will be making the post draws. So there's some of these races, they got like 20 horses nominated. So I'm looking forward to them cutting the fields down. But in any case, well, let's hope we can get off to a great start and start building that bankroll for you this weekend.
Sounds good to me.
So race number 7, 3, 6, 9, 10. Race number 8, 1, 3, and 9. Race number 5, the 4, 5, 7, and 8. Race number 10, the 1, the 4, the 6, and the 11. Terry and I, those are our picks combined for the Fly 4, Terry. So let's hope that's a hitter. Can you take a quick look at Philadelphia race 3 and see how that worked out, Terry?
Sure.
For Pratik. And then let's go ahead and pull up how Terry and I rated the horses individually with our hot dog pick fours. As you can see, Terry went ahead and went 6, 8, and 9 in the first leg. I went just to 3, 6. In race number 8, Terry went 1 and 9. I went 1, 3, 9. Race number 5, Terry went 5, 7. I went 4, 5, 7. And in race 10, Terry goes 3. So Terry goes the barbell approach. 3 on the outside, 2 in the middle. I did the other way around. I like the double stuffed Oreos better. 2 on the outside and 3 in the middle. Both tickets are $18, Terry.
Yep, and they haven't given the results yet. No, it hasn't won officially yet.
All right, so when it does, that we'll bring that up. And then finally, Terry, for you and me, because Tom is off in the wings waiting to tell us all about his Melbourne Cup picks. Our final thing for the day is the 3P parlay. Mm-hmm. So you went and stayed at Parx. So race 5 and 6. Tell us what you have. And then if you follow Terry's picks and they hit, we got the pick 6 potentially for you.
That's right. The 5th, I like number 3, Brazen. And in the 6th race at Parx, I like number 2, Rack Gem. And then in the 9th race at Parx, I like number 5, Irish Riviera.
Irish Riviera. Yes, indeed. I'm at Mahoning Valley today in Ohio for all you Ohio State fans that don't know how to spell Ohio, that you do it so many times in the course of a game. Mahoning Valley race 5, the 4-horse, I'm Ever Ready. Race number 6, the 4-horse, Special Beach. And race number 7, It's a Friendship Shot. So I guess that's if you're out drinking. It's just a shot for friendship. And I think any friendship shot should be at least 120 proof. What do you think, Terry?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it should be.
All right. You ready to bring in Tom?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Here he is. 1, 2, and 3. We have Melbourne Tom with us today. Hey, Australian Tom. How are you?
All right. I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Fantastic.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Terry.
So you're gonna run through your Melbourne Cup picks for us, right?
I'm going to. Yes, we have 24 starters.
Oof.
The track right now is rated a good 4, and a good 4 is a track with some give in it. So there's been a little moisture, but not a significant. This race is the race they call it that stops the nation. So for the 2-mile race, it usually attracts top company, and it certainly did in here, but and also kind of like the Kentucky Derby at times, there's horses in here who have no business being in this race.
Yeah, just there for the show. One quick question before both of you. Terry, you've been to the Melbourne Cup?
I have, yeah. And
how about you, Tom?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay.
Hey, and I have some results here for the 3rd race at Philly.
Fire away real quick.
Number 2 won, paid $760. Number 6 was 2nd, paid $320, and number 1 was Carmeli Teeny was 3rd.
And exacta, trifecta, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exacta paid $21.80. Trifecta paid $14.05. So it's a 2-6-1.
All right, sorry about the interruption, Melbourne. Tom. So who do you like in Australia?
I'm going to start out with number 24, Sir Lucan. Has draw 18, 8 starts, 2 wins, and a placing. It's a listed winner in England, and it also placed in the Gordon, which is a prestigious high-end race, but not a top-class race. And attracts a very large field too. He's a 3-year-old. He's one of the only 3-year-olds in this. I think he's the only 3-year-old in the field. He gets in light, and that's always a good thing. And he's been running up against a few good horses like Hurricane Lane, Yibir, and Ottoman Empire. So, yeah, he's not he had an 8th last time against Hurricane Lane, but Hurricane Lane went out and got beat in the Arc, finished 3rd. So I mean, they were running good company here. The biggest thing I found was that this distance really suits the horse because the sire was a long distance runner, Camelot, and the dam was a long distance runner herself, and she produced a horse that won about $4 million and insured Dragon it. So there's the breeding side says this horse should like the distance, and if he can make $5 million, that's a pretty good deal because this race's value is about $5.5 million, I think, something like that. So it'll be interesting to see how this horse does, and we should get some odds. Number 21, Tralee Rose with draw 12 is my next choice. 15 starts, 6 wins, 4 seconds, and 2/3. She won a Group 3 last time out, the Geelong Cup. But she's a model of consistency, and her worst race was at 2 miles, and she finished 4th. So, but she's been this year after a 6-month layoff. She has a win, a second, and 2/3. She gets in it at a lighter weight too, and I think that only can help her chances in this race. And I like the consistency angle. I mean, and draw 12 she should be okay. My next pick is number 4, Very Elegant, with draw 19. She started 33 times. She has 14 wins, 7 seconds, and 3/3. Wow. She was the favorite last year in this race. Her last race, she was off. It was at Mooney Valley, and she was off slow and ran 3rd. But you would say, oh, yeah, all right, she didn't. Had some problems or whatever, but the rating on her for that race was the highest that she's ever gotten. So it's rather interesting.
So the other horses must have just ran the races of their life.
Yeah, that's encouraging. It is a 10-day turnaround, so that's be considered. Her only win this year was a 7 furlong race at Randwick. So she's won at Flemington, so that's not an issue. It's just a matter of whether she gets the trip, I think. And I have to mention the favorite, number 2, Incense Vice. Draw 15. It's touted as the next Australian superstar. 12 starts, 9 wins. Interestingly enough, though, 5 for 5 on soft going, but 4 for 7 on the good going. I mean, had a brilliant race last time out in the Caulfield Cup. Looked all the part of
the next great Australian horse.
Yeah. I mean, if they can repeat that, yes, it's going to win this race. But it is a short price. So, and I don't like short prices necessarily. So,
no, you don't. That's why that's why the minimum you are is 22-1, Tom.
So I've got to mention it because it is going to be the favorite. But it's one of those horses that's either going to win or it's going to finish out of the money. It's an all or nothing horse in its past record. And with this big of a field, traffic issues, yeah.
Anything can happen.
If you don't get the right position, you could be in deep trouble.
Yep.
Do they turn there?
A lot of horses and not nowhere to go.
1 2-mile straight run.
No, yeah. Well, no.
It might be a race that you do what I like to do, and that's put all on top, and that this one's second. So,
yeah, I can see that. But there's at least I think 9 horses in here that could win this race. The ones I didn't mention, there's a couple from Europe, more from Europe that are better. The Twilight Payment won last year and is the top-rated horse in here. And also Spanish Mission, who's been facing Stradivarius, among others, in this.
Good
so
horse.
He's been running the distance. This horse is American-owned. That's why they sent him over there. And they wanted to give a shot at this race. So those are ones that certainly have a great chance. You got to cut them down at some point.
Can't bet them all unless you're
can't
Terry.
bet them all. And also, I'm looking at trying to get a price here and upset this big favorite. And if I can do that, then the payoffs will be really good.
The rest of the week will be good. So it's in Australia. That race is that race tonight, our time, or how does about what time can people look it up?
It'll be about 10 p.m. roughly.
10 p.m. Eastern?
Central time.
10 p.m. So 11 p.m. Central. I mean Eastern.
Eastern, yeah.
You'll be able to catch that roughly. Yeah, just give or take. And you'll have to check. I know from the past, I did not see it in my TwinSpires account, but I did see it in my TVG account. So you might have to open an account or look through TVG. Or is there any other place, Tom, that they can maybe watch it online?
Naira.
Naira
is available. Those would be the ones I would go for at least first try. Oh, if you have Keeneland Select, that's also Churchill Downs. They're the front for that. And they definitely will have the races. The way it works usually is they list them like ABC, and one channel they'll carry all the races from the tracks that they're covering. So four or five tracks that they cover. And Flemington, because of this race, is definitely going to be covered.
So any on your account should have it then.
Yeah.
That sounds good. TVG, TwinSpires, whichever.
You should be okay. Yeah, you should be okay.
Fantastic. All right, so just to rehash, Tom, you like the 24, Sir Lucan, number 21, something Rose. I can't read my own handwriting.
Tralee Rose. Yeah.
Tralee Rose, number 4, Very Elegant. And then number 2, there's the favorite, Incense Vice, the up-and-coming next superstar from Australia to replace the last one that I can't name.
Well, they're touting him as being like Far Lap. So, I mean, would be a huge thing for this horse. And but you've got to prove it.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, they always do.
And in a field of 24, get in a little trouble, and you may be done.
And that's why I think it's a wise thing to look for the price there. I agree with you.
This Flemington is a counterclockwise race course, so it's similar to.
Well, it's because it's below the equator.
It's similar to. Well, it's interesting when you read the form from down there. One of the things you'll look and find is they will have stats for whether it's counterclockwise or clockwise.
Yeah.
Because many of the tracks go one way and others go the other way.
So some turn right and some turn left, huh?
So this is a 2-turn race. They start in the Flemington chute, and positioning is key getting in that. But you got a nice big run to get before you get to that first turn.
Yeah, I know. When I was in Australia and I went to 2 or 3 different tracks, I really loved it. I did. The only problem I saw was that where you watch from and where the track was, at least at 2 of those tracks, is so far it's hard to see them. So you have to either have binoculars or watch on TV. But I really liked it, and then they treat their fans really well. And I love the fact that you can, like on a pick 4, you can bet it percent wise. Like if it was set up as $1 pick 4, you could do 40%. Or 40 cents. It was up to you how much you wanted to do.
Sounds interesting. Maybe I ought to consider some of those things there. Any other final thoughts, Tom, about Australia before we get up and out of here today?
Good luck.
Yes, of course. Well, it's always better to be lucky than good, for sure.
And Tom, which one was your absolute top choice out of those 4?
My top choice is number 24, Sir Lucan.
Okay.
That is my top choice.
All righty. Sounds good.
Any final thoughts from you, Terry, before we get up and out of here on this Monday?
Well, I just want everybody to have a good, safe day. And if you're betting on the races today, I hope you fill your pockets with cash.
Yeah, fill your pockets full of cash all the way from Parx down to Australia. Terry's going to be with us again tomorrow. What track are we covering tomorrow, Terry?
Indiana Grand.
And then Tom's going to join us on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, because Terry will be traveling to Del Mar to give us some live updates, the inside information from the Breeders' Cups. Until then, till Terry and I return in 23-3, folks, as always, good luck at the track, and may all of your picks end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. And if you like what you saw today, please subscribe on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Have a great, great Monday, everybody.